MC. Oh, hey guys, we got story time with Ronnie. And it looks like we's at Cayton Campground again. Oh boy, we got a good one, a brand new one. The Island of Dr. Moreau. Another H.G. Wells classic. And it's one of those days at Cayton Campground that, well, it's kind of raining. So I think today we'll just give you a little pano of the campsite here. This is one of our favorite little campgrounds in the San Jaun National Forest. And we like this here spot because, boom, you just walk right out your door and up the hill you go into a little flower meadow there, and the dogs can walk around, that kind of thing. Hammock, just hang out. And the next campsite is for a little while. That quite a ways over there. There's another campsite or the campground actually starts over there. This is a lone campsite all by itself. It doesn't have electricity or nothing, so they tend to not fill up as quickly as those other ones do. So because it's a rainy, soggy day, I think we'll just stay at home in our bath-and-a-half condo up here in the forest, and we'll just start with this Island of Dr. Moreau. Now, here we go. Introduction. On February the 1st, 1887, the Lady Vane was lost by collision with a derelict when about the latitude 1 degree south, longitude 107 west. On January the 5th, 1888, that is, 11 months and 4 days after my uncle, Edward Prendick, a private gentleman who certainly went aboard the Lady Vane and in Calais, and who had been considered drowned, was picked up in latitude 5 degrees 3 minutes south and longitude 101 west in a small open boat, of which the name was illegible, much like my reading, but which is supposed to have belonged to the missing schooner. Oh boy. I'm going to have to look this one up now too. Okay, here we go. I just looked it up. Here we go. Ipukakuana. Yeah, I really would have got that one on my own. Okay, so here we go. Let's continue on here. Belonging to the missing schooner Ipukakuana. He gave such a strange account of himself that he was supposed demented. Subsequently, he alleged that his mind was a blank from the moment of his escape from the Lady Vane. His case was discussed among psychologists at the time as a curious instance of the lapse of memory consequent upon physical and mental stress. The following narrative was found among his papers by the undersigned, his nephew and heir, but accompanied by a definite request for publication. The only island known to exist in the region in which my uncle was picked up is Noble's Island, a small volcanic islet and uninhabited. It was visited in 1891 by HMS Scorpion. A party of sailors then landed, but found nothing living thereon except certain curious white moths. some hogs and rabbits, and some rather peculiar rats. No specimen was secured of these, so that this narrative is without confirmation in its most essential particular, which that understood, there seems no harm in putting this strange story before the public, in accordance, as I believe, with my uncle's intentions. There is at least this much in its behalf. My uncle passed out of human knowledge about latitude 5 degrees south and longitude 105 west, and reappeared in the same part of the ocean after a space of 11 months. In some way he must have lived during the interval, and it seems that a schooner called the, oh boy, here it is again, Kukawana. Oh yeah, here we go. Apu Kakuana. That's the one with a drunken captain. Wait, look at his name of his boat. He's got to be drunk, or everybody like, hey, he's in the Kakuana. John Davis, the drunken captain, did start from Africa with a puma and certain other animals aboard in January 1887. That the vessel was well known at several ports in the South Pacific, and that it finally disappeared from those seas with a considerable amount of copra aboard, sailing to its unknown fate from Banca in December 1887, a date that tallies entirely with my uncle's story. Okay, that was the introduction. Let's go with Chapter 1. Oh, let's check out this exciting video. Oh, yep, still raining. Chapter 1. In the Dinghy of the Lady Vane. I do not propose to add anything to what has already been written concerning the loss of Lady Vane. As everyone knows, she collided with a derelict when 10 days out of Calo. The longboat, with 7 of the crew, was picked up 18 days after by H.M. gunboat Myrtle, and the story of their terrible privations has become quite a well-known as the far more horrible Medusa case. But I have to add to the published story of the Lady Vane another as horrible, and certainly far stranger. It has hitherto been supposed that the 4 men who were in the dinghy perished, but this is incorrect. I have the best of evidence for this assertion. I am one of the 4 men. But in the first place, I must state that there never were 4 men in the dinghy. The number was 3. Constance, who was seen by the captain to jump into the gig. Daily News, March 17th, 1887. Luckily for us, and unluckily for himself, did not reach us. He came down out of the tangle of ropes under the stays of the smashed bowsprit. Some small rope caught his heel, and he let go, and he hung for a moment head downward, and then fell and struck a block or spar floating in the water. We pulled towards him, but he never came up. I say, luckily for us, he did not reach us. And I might also add, luckily for himself, for there were only a small beaker of water, and some sodden ship's biscuits with us. So sodden had been the alarm. So sodden. So sudden had been the alarm. So unprepared the ship for any disaster. We thought the people on the launch would be better provisioned, though it seems they were not. And we tried to hail them. They could not have heard us. And the next morning, when the drizzle cleared, which was not until past midday, we could see nothing of them. We could not stand up to look about us because of the pitching of the boat. The sea ran in great rollers, and we had much ado to keep the boat's head to them. The two other men who had escaped so far with me were a man named Helmar, a passenger like myself, and a seaman whose name I don't know, a short, sturdy man with a stammer. All right, I think that's probably going to be about it for today. Wow. When I saw this story on my list there, I thought, oh boy, I'm excited because I just saw that one, not so good movie. And I thought, oh boy. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time. Sam C. Okay, and we'll leave you just a few seconds of big old Rosie so that we can all get a big old smile. Oh, yeah, that makes me feel good. Thanks, Rosie. Bye now.